Sari Rose, and this U.S. team full of legends won it all last year, and immediately on their text string after the game, we're talking about how to repeat. Boy, they are full of stars on this roster, Sari.
When you talk about stars, you're talking about Kat Whitehill, Allie Krieger, Carly Lloyd, and Heather O'Reilly are in their starting 7. Those 4 players alone have 789 caps between them, not to mention the fact they've filled in some roster spots with some young bucks from Carolina.
Yeah, it's pretty nice when you've got a roster full of the old school North Carolina Tar Heels and the new school who won the national championship right here at WakeMed Park. First shot on frame from Austin Rise FC. And the keeper, Lindsay Harris, in between the pipes today for the U.S. women. This is her 3rd year in goal for TST for the U.S. women. As Carly Lloyd centers it immediately. Pops out to Heather O'Reilly. Looking inside for Kennedy Kessler, who had 3 goals last year here in the TST tournament.
She's one of the few players on the squad that's not from an ACC or Power 5 school, but she was tremendous for them last year, especially in the final when they won 6-3 over the Courage.
Lloyd, one-timer. Blocked, sent right back, tries it again. And remember some of these rules for TST. No throw-ins. This is a shorter field, just 65 yards in length. The goal also is smaller, just 6.5 feet tall, so from distance it is more difficult. As that ball is cleared away right to the foot of Lindsay Harris.
I was about to say Carolina, but the U.S. are playing in a bit of a 3-2-1 with Kessler up top as that target.
She's got the ball at her foot right now.
Good, Kira, good, Kira.
And they're going to be comfortable playing this back to Kat Whitehill. Kat Whitehill can put a ball on a dime as she tries to find Krieger, making that run into the box. But Whitehill's just a tremendous organizer back there as a center back.
Our soccer.com players to watch. Well, a whole bunch of legends on the field, but how about Carly Lloyd, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist, pregnant last year, but she's fired up to be out there, Sari.
And she is. She's such a beast on the field. She can shoot from anywhere. She had 134 goals and is 3rd all-time for the women's national team. But she's such a fierce competitor, and she's just going to bring that drive to this team today.
And for Austin Rise FC, Sadie Sider-Eckenberg, we'll call her Sadie Sider for the most part, but she's put together quite an accomplished collegiate career.
And she also plays for the Canadian futsal team, which won the 2025 CONCACAF qualifier, and they're going to be going to the World Cup. She plays at USF, and is just a technical futsal-like player.
Futsal, there's a lot of futsal players here in this 7v7 format. That includes the keeper and the spacing and different things. I think the futsal players really feel comfortable.
Let it go, let it go.
And we talked about earlier how it's so difficult sometimes for forwards to retrain themselves that it's okay to be offside, right? A lot of these players are afraid to make that run in behind the defender, but in this sevens, it's such a dangerous play.
Now you go, now you go.
Allie Long onto the field, right in the middle, ball at her foot now. And then Kat Whitehill, the dependable defender. Harris gets chased down. Some good pressure applied by Austin Rise FC. That is Summer Mason. Now you mentioned it. No offside in TST.
Hey, don't lose your marks.
That one a little bit out of the reach of Tessa Dela Rose, a 5'5" defender, last year's MVP of the TST, number 34 in blue for the U.S. And yes, you might be confused if you're just joining us. The navy and red is the U.S. team, while the red jerseys and navy kits are Austin Rise FC. The shot.
And that's AK Alex Kimball just trying to get on board, another Carolina player. She's playing as a target. They're really trying to see if they can't get a ball up top and then find somebody beneath them to finish it.
There are no goal kicks at TST. That kick flicked on. And Harris controlling it now, shouting out instructions to her team. In year one of TST, there was no women's bracket. That was 3 years ago, and the U.S. women put in a team in the field. They were the only women's team to play against all the other men's teams, and Lindsey Harris was fantastic as a shot stopper. Last year, she continued that streak, was very good for the U.S. women as they won the first ever women's bracket with 8 teams. And it has doubled. Now 16 teams in this TST tournament, all vying for that $1 million prize.
And that's a testament to Heather O'Reilly, who really put this on her back and went out and recruited teams and pumped it up, and just how it exploded from that first year to the second year, and now Solo FC, they've got teams from Mexico in it. Just really such a great draw of squads here in this event this year.
We love seeing all the fans lined up here to get a shot of their sports heroes and the U.S. legends. Ms. Harris read that beautifully, got off her line quickly, and now delivers a strike. This is Olivia Thomas. Ooh, trying to get that in the middle and center it. Instead, she earns the corner kick, the deflected out of bounds.
And that all starts from Harris with that quick distribution to Thomas, and she's going to be able to beat the one player quickly, but it's a good job by Natalia Maria to come across and break up that play.
Allie Long puts it in, up in the air, and now cleared away.
And the U.S. has really been able to put Austin Rise FC under pressure, but we're seeing how organized Rise is defensively.
So they come away with it. This is Sadie Sider. On her foot, centers it in. Good ball, just over the head of Faith Weber. 5'8" forward from Utah Valley.
And that's a tough ball to get past the Scottish defender, Jen Beattie there, who just puts a little bit of a body on Austin Rise so she can't make that run in.
Nice job of just posting up by Olivia Thomas, the 5'10" junior forward, using her frame, the physicality. And what an absolute finish she had to the season, winning the national championship and was the College Cup most outstanding offensive player.
She had that game winner for Carolina over Wake Forest. So
I know you're personally offended by that as a former Demon Deacon. I hated to even bring it up, Sari. I can feel you personally just taking it like a champ, like, ouch. Ball driven in, but handled cleanly. And now good space here out in front. This is Zoe Main. And a one-timer off the boot of Marta Pellegrin Gonzalez sails over the frame.
And Rise looking dangerous in transition. Main able to get a hold of it, and it's a good run on the opposite side. Just wasn't able to get her head over it. She's going to launch that over the goal.
But stripped away. Oh, brilliant save by Lindsey Harris. An open goal, just Harris in between Summer Mason and Harris coming up large.
And Harris thrives when she has to be a shot stopper. Just good position, keeps her feet until the end, able to prevent that goal.
Harris, 31 years old, currently playing in the Saudi Women's Premier League. And Harris, again, smothering that ball inside the 6 to take away the chance for Austin Rise FC.
And I would say she's almost better when she's under continued pressure. Really thrives in that space.
Ooh, big collision out there. No whistle. It was Natalie Bain and Olivia Thomas colliding.
And they now have got Casey Noguera Lloyd. I remember as Casey Lloyd, so I always throw in, Noguera, I always throw that in, but Lloyd was another tremendous player for the U.S. last year, extremely dangerous on set pieces. She's just a cheeky little player. Her and Trobin Heath used to just knock the ball around with the youth national team.
Good pressure by Austin Rise FC. Dangerous as Harris just has to get rid of it and get her defense set. Good start to this match for Austin Rise FC. No intimidation factor at all facing this collection of U.S. legends and stars from North Carolina.
And we've got to remember, they came in and did almost a 10-day camp, being out in Iowa and then coming here and training here as well. So they're going to be extremely organized defensively, really haven't quite gotten into a rhythm in the attack, but they have prepared for this match tremendously.
Yeah, their head coach, Anu Abasi, taking some time with us to talk about that training camp in Iowa and how beneficial it was to his team just to build the culture and the chemistry with this squad. And he's got a tremendous amount of experience here at TST on the men's side.
Well, he won the first year. Last year kind of hit a little bit of a ruffle and didn't get through into the semis, but a tremendous coach and just so intentional in everything he does.
And he knows all of the tricks and the strategies and tactics here in this TST tournament. So what a brilliant hire by Austin Rise FC to get him involved with this squad. He said he had one of his buddies call him. And he was like, absolutely, mate, get me involved.
And you can see them settling in now, trying to get some possession. The U.S. team making some changes, but they came out strong.
Heinsohn, the right back, gets it back to the keeper, Macy Inniking. And Coach Abasi saying he's not going to be scared to mix up his keepers. It's Inniking getting the start in goal for Austin Rise FC, but don't be surprised if they make changes even on the fly.
And we're seeing them play very much like Newtown. They're comfortable with the ball in the back, changing it side to side, waiting to see if they can't unbalance the U.S. defense and find a gap.
Ooh, top of the box. Blocked the first time and the second time. The U.S. defense holding their ground. That was Ali Krieger getting in the way of the potential shot.
And we're seeing Austin Rise, that Faith Weber, number 9 up top in red. She's going to start centrally, and then she'll float to the side, trying to pull that U.S. defense apart a little bit.
Good early flow to this match. Both teams certainly look confident in what they're wanting to get.
And they've got number 13 in blue is Kate Fossey from Carolina. She was the Mac Herman Trophy winner of the year. So she's up top in that 9 spot for them, and she's got the legs to go back and forth and put pressure on here.
Yeah, what a season that Kate had for North Carolina. First junior to win the Mac Herman Trophy in a while. I mean, that's incredible. She was the top drawer player of the year, the Honda Sport winner for soccer. Trying to add to her trophy collection here at the TST. Jillian Shimkin with the ball at her foot, and now it will be reversed to midfield.
Fossey was only the 4th player this century to win a national championship while leading the country in goals. She's in place with players like Kat Macario, Casey Noguera-Lloyd, who she's playing with, and Christine Sinclair. So just think about the pedigree of those players there.
That's a who's list. Let's head down to Alexis, who's down on the sideline. Go ahead, Alexis.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I've got the one and only Jen Beattie here with me, a Scotswoman in the U.S. women's team, but you got to love it. And I mean, Jen, I know you played for Man City, played for Arsenal women, but is it quite challenging, like, playing for this?
Oh, yeah, it's so different. You know what, I'm glad we had training sessions leading up to it, getting a grips of all the rules. It's a completely different format, but it's so much fun.
The conditions, though, I know these are prime Scotland conditions when it's wet, when the ball is really slick, but how are you guys finding it out there?
Personally, you're spot on. This is a Scottish summer for me. It's wet, but it's warm, so yeah. But no, the ball's moving fast, which I think we all prefer.
What would you like to see the guys do different, the ladies out here?
Would I like to see what, sorry?
What would you like to see them do differently? I know you've been telling them probably to go up a bit more, press a bit more.
Yeah, I think so. Be a bit more confident on the ball, patience at the back. And yeah, play more combinations through the midfield. I think that's what we're going to do.
Well, I know you were here for the bands and the vibes first, but now that you've got taste for competition once again, you're here to win it.
Oh, with this badge on, there's nothing else that matters to these girls and myself, obviously, to win. No, we're here to win it back to back.
All right, well, we'll let you go enjoy the game, Jen.
Thank you very much.
All right, Alexis, thank you very much. Jen Beattie, 34 years old, the 5'10 defender from Glasgow, Scotland, a Scottish legend that was picked up by the U.S. women's team. Blusher of pride there, just getting it away. And now taken away by Kessler and the U.S. women. We're just tuning in, the U.S. women wearing the Navy kits. Austin Rise FC out of the Austin, Texas area, a semi-pro WPSL team, is in the red tops and navy shorts.
Left foot for this one here. Left foot, Martha.
Austin Rise has really rotated their players, and again, the pressure has forced the U.S. to turn it over, and Harris forced to dive to save that one. Kimball sliding in, and the whistle blows for the foul.
And Harris just with a errant pass there. That's probably the one area of her game that she can improve on. We saw it last year. There were a couple of times where just didn't have the right pace or tried to force something and put herself under pressure. They now have Kene Kessler playing as that left back. They really like playing with three in the back because Kat Whitehill, number 4 in blue, is just such a general in the back line. But this is Lloyd, who was so dangerous last year on set pieces.
Casey Nagara Lloyd on the ball. It is Austin Rise FC coming away with it. A quiet whistle there. It took a second, and the players will retreat for the U.S. Well, you can visit soccer.com, the official store of the soccer tournament. Some great merch with the jerseys. This is an international tournament. It's a festival. Players and teams from all over the world come together here down in Cary, North Carolina, which is such a wonderful soccer city. And this complex is fantastic. There was some heavy rains earlier today, but this pitch is still holding up pretty well. And listening to Jen Beattie, who's from Scotland, talk about the wet ball. It's not 72 degrees in Scotland when it's raining. I know that. It's 72 degrees here. It's nice and warm, perfect conditions. Kessler gets it back to Kimball. Remember, no offside, going to the near post. And that last touch by Inniking. So we will have another corner kick set up by Kimball. Kimball grew up in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and her dream come true was a North Carolina Tar Heel as that shot at the near post.
And that was Mana Shim who got a head on it. And once again, one of the more veteran players on this squad, played last year, but a good job to get that ball down, and a nice reaction save there by Anakin, even though she was a little bit blinded there, but the player in front of her shielding it.
Anakin sends it long. Controlled. Shot on frame. Harris deflects it and right to the boot of Kessler. So Harris has been peppered. There has been more dangerous shots coming from Austin Rise FC than from the U.S. women. And remember last year, if not, I will remind you, the United States women won this inaugural TST tournament, but they dropped the first game of the tournament 3-0 to Streetball Canada, which was shocking at the time. It took them a while to get going, and they're certainly right in this one, but boy, I think Austin Rise FC has come out and tilted the field their way.
And we talked how this was a little bit of a repeat of last year, because Streetball FC, they had gone in, they had done the camp, trained for a week, really got used to the 7v7 game format, and that's the same thing that Rise did, really perfecting the style of play and bringing in those players that are futsal players that are used to playing in tight spaces, cheeky on the ball. The reality is the depth of that U.S. squad last year and their ability to bring in some of those young players like Tessa Della Rose and Della Porta sisters. They were just fantastic.
So 20 seconds away from the end of the first half. We'll see if either squad can get a tally on the board. It will be Austin Rise with this final possession here with 5 seconds to go. And they will just play it safely. No whistle blows. And the rain starting to flow out of the clouds. And the umbrellas come out here in Cary, North Carolina. They're out here to see the legends of the United States national women's team. And so far, it is scoreless here in Cary, North Carolina. The second half coming up after this.
The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of TST.
Hey, welcome into Cary, North Carolina. We are at halftime, scoreless, and I think the U.S. women breathing a sigh of relief that it is scoreless. They were outplayed in the first half by Austin Rise FC. The RBC Wealth halftime stats brought to you by RBC Wealth Management, and doubling up the U.S. in shots 6-3 is Austin Rise, and shots on goal 5-2. They had some dangerous opportunities, and Lindsey Harris saved some bacon out there in the first half.
Once again, point blank save early on to keep them in this match. And what's interesting, we're looking at those 3 shots. All 3 of those shots came from the substitutions that came on the pitch after those starters. So it'll be interesting to see. I thought at the beginning of the match, U.S. came out with a lot of enthusiasm. They were putting the pressure on, but Austin Rise really settled in and be able to dominate in that Newtown style where they possess, and try and lull the other team to sleep and pick them apart.
Any adjustments that you think? We'll talk about that. We've got plenty of time here at TST. Elise Woodward, Sari Rose. We're at the soccer tournament. Come on back for second half action.
Today's broadcast is presented by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of TST.
We are at the beautiful Wake Med Park in Cary, North Carolina, in a matchup between the U.S. women and Austin Rise FC. And we are just getting ready to start the second half. And let's send it down to the sideline and Alexis Nunez.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I've got the head coach of the Austin Rise here, Onua, and you must be very proud of your girls. They are not intimidated by the big U.S. women's national team players we see out here. Oh, coach was locked in.
It was a 50-50. Maria. Okay, yeah, it was a good half. Obviously, we're the dominant team in the half, but 0-0 means it could be anyone's game. Just got to keep doing what we're doing. I think the rain probably helps them more than it does us because it kind of levels out the playing field. But, yeah, obviously really happy with the performance so far.
Well, tell us a bit more about your girls' identity, what you guys are trying to achieve here today, because I know it's a tough first game against some of the big names.
Yeah, just defense first, be really good defensively. I think that's the cornerstone of any good team is being really solid defensively, and then obviously the chances will come, but it's about keeping the ball out the back of your own net first, I think.
Well, we know coach is locked in. He can't take his eyes off the game. We're going to let you go. Back to you guys.
Thanks.
All right, appreciate it, Alexis. And, yeah, the shot over the top of the cage from Carly Lloyd, who was pregnant last year at this tournament. Had to sit and watch. Well, she's a proud mama and out there able to compete now. And it's great to see her now 42 years old. 17-year run wearing the crest for Team USA. Now out there with some of her besties.
Just a tremendous competitor, and what she did to dedicate herself to the crest is just unbelievable.
Well, the rain is really just pouring out of the clouds now. This is a heavy downpour. The first half just had a little bit late. All the fans bundled up, trying to take in this soccer action. They want to stay and watch their stars, even though they're getting pelted right now. Oh, they keep her well off the line. And the U.S. could not get possession.
Anakin getting some support from Rohan there. Number 16 in red, Cassie Rohan.
So both teams going with their same starting keepers here in the second half. Macy Inniking for Austin Rise FC. Lindsay Harris for the U.S. Takeaway by the U.S. And now Della Rose trying to tiptoe the touchline, and the U.S. does maintain possession. And now taken away. But careless there.
And I love number 9, Weber, just checking her head, constantly seeing, is she getting a run? Is she getting support? If not, she's going to possess.
U.S. come away with it. Bella Devery, number 7 for the U.S. in the Navy jersey, onto the pitch. And substitutions are free. It's like a hockey substitution. You can have lines. As soon as a player leaves the field, one more can come on. And no more than 3 at a time, though, on this 7v7 structure. Nice move there to shed the defender from Julia Shimkin. U.S. able to recover and get their defense set. I think you might actually be able to hear the rain. It is just pouring here in Cary, North Carolina. Here's Allie Long out in the corner, slides. Cannot keep that one in play.
Just a little bit of a heavy ball in the rain by Heather O'Reilly, but you love seeing Long get down and get after it.
This is an unbelievable downpour right now. The players look like they've been in a shower, literally, and it's a rain shower.
But this is so much fun to play in because you are. Every time you hit the ground, you're sliding, you're getting dirty. It's just, it really is just little kid fun weather to play in.
It's like playing in the snow when you're a kid. Playing in the rain when you've got natural grass is so fun.
And yes, every single team here is here to compete and win the $1 million. But part of it is for some of the older teams to be back with your friends and experiencing the love of the game that you had. For the younger ones, it's trying to create a name and play against these legends. I mean, how amazing is it to say that you played against Carly Lloyd and Heather O'Reilly and Allie Krieger? I mean, just such an unbelievable experience for every player out on the pitch.
The U.S. will now try to build from the back as much as you can in 7v7. You're automatically in scoring range in a 65-yard field. Long loses her footing. That one last deflected off of Austin Rise FC, so Allie Krieger takes a look. A high cross up in the air. Race to the ball. Heather O'Reilly will win it back to Harris. Just getting rid of it all the way back to the keeper for Austin Rise FC, Macy Inniking.
And the reality is the keeper's so important in 7v7 because, yes, they have to be a shot stopper, but if teams are doing it right, they're really using that as a second field player.
Oh, beautiful kick save by Harris. That was a dangerous opportunity. Put back in and left of the frame. Harris, another high-level save.
And you see just a good run in. It's a great touch, slips it in. She's going to open her body and one-time that with her left, and that's what Lindsay Harris does, is makes reaction saves. And it gets tougher with that rain. Once again, you're going to see the goalkeepers constantly like squeezing their hands, trying to get the water out of their gloves. Anything in front of them, they're probably going to pop down because it's going to get harder and harder for them to make a clean save.
Yeah, Sarah, you're a former keeper at Wake Forest. And you know how difficult it is when those gloves get slippery. And especially off that turf, it's going to skid and slide and take different. It's going to just feel different and much faster with this water on the grass. Alone getting water in your eyes. You can see Macy Inniking putting her hands up over her eyes to shield them. I mean, it is a torrential downpour here in Cary, North Carolina. Oh, dangerous here? No, heavy touch. Evelyn Shores onto the pitch. Looked like if she could control that one, she could get a good opportunity. The 20-year-old midfielder from North Carolina.
She was such a tremendous youth national team player as well. Her freshman year was cut a little bit short at Carolina due to injury. Came back last year for the final 10 games of the season. But this is going to be Casey Lloyd on the ball. We saw her take a number of the free kicks last year, and what it creates is second balls.
Oh, the driving one into the back of the net. Incredible strike on the set piece from Casey Lloyd, and the U.S. women strike first.
And that's exactly what we were talking about that happened last year. She hit such a tremendously difficult and hard ball, can't make the initial save, and there's Kate Fossey, the Herman Trophy winner, burying that ball to put the U.S. up 1-0.
That ball right on the line, and who there to make sure it crossed it but the youngster, Kate Fossey, on the rebound opportunity. We were just talking about the wet gloves and unable to contain the first shot.
And we've talked about how amazing the pitches here are in Cary, North Carolina at Wake Med Soccer Park. We're starting to see a little bit of standing water just outside of the top of the box. We'll see how that plays out because it was absolutely pouring here. Just buckets of water coming down, but these fields traditionally drain really well, so we'll see how it holds up as this game progresses.
I mean, I think it's inevitable with the amount of water that just was thrown from the clouds onto this turf, as Harris quick to get that one out of danger's way.
And when it first starts raining, the ball gets skippy and quick, and now as this field gets waterlogged, it's starting to collect that water. That these balls are starting to slow down as they're played, so being cognizant of the weight of the pass is going to be really important in these next 10 minutes plus target score time.
Alex Kimball drives it off the near post. A little over 10 minutes to go here in the second half, and then we will head to target score time. in target score time. It is the leading team at the end of the second half. Their score plus one more goal. Chance on frame. Harris, another save. It's as if she can read it off of the toes of the Austin Rise players. She is in perfect position. She has been brilliant. Out wide now, Della Rose. Rebound opportunity, and it is finished. And I think there is no goal called.
It was a slide in by Mana Shim, and so they're going to call that back. There is no slide tackling at TST. Great ball in by Tessa Della Rose, just with her left foot. It pops off of Anna King, and Mana Shim's there, but she's playing it on the ground, and so officials going to call that back. But once again,
Shim is going to be frustrated about that one. Good ball centered in from Olivia Thomas, but too much pace, and that one's out of bounds. But Shim's going to feel robbed on that one. That was a great effort getting down to the turf, and she didn't slide tackle. She didn't take the ball away. She just went down with her cleats.
And then played the ball on the ground as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, so many of these players, if you're watching the pitch, are not wearing shin guards because it is a fun, lively, fun environment, and so they really do frown and have said that it is against the rules to slide tackle or play on the ground, and a lot of that's about protecting the players as well.
Understandable.
Well done, Reagan.
Nice job there from Lloyd. Getting it to Whitehill and now up to Tessa Della Rose. Last year's TST MVP, and a little bit too much contact there from Reagan Zimmers, sending Lloyd to the turf. So pretty dangerous opportunity here for the U.S. They scored on the set piece before with Alex Kimball. Or no, excuse me, it was Casey Lloyd who put the strike in, and on the rebound opportunity, Kate Fossey was able to score the first U.S. goal. So the wall set up defensively by Austin Rise.
So it's going to be Marta.
Right back out. And deflected off of Austin Rise once again. So the kick coming from Lloyd. Headed on. Good looking opportunity. Just a bit off the mark.
And Carly Lloyd is such a competitor that the last thing I would want to do is take her to the ground, because when she gets up, she can punish you.
316 caps for Carly Lloyd with the U.S. national team. She said, hey, I'm not in my tip-top shape right now, but this has been a nice goal and a motivator after having her daughter Harper just 8 months ago in October. Great to have her out there representing this U.S. women's team. Maya Heinsohn, number 8 for Austin Rise FC, plays it back.
Once again, the Rise are just looking to knock that ball around and see if they can't find the right moment.
Joe Lohman out there for the U.S., number 15, 42 years old. Ooh, from distance, deflected. And the U.S. will have it. You can see the keeper there, Lindsay Harris, having to have her teammates have her back and tie her shoe. It had come undone with those gloves on. You don't want to take them off when they're all heavy right now.
That was a good look there by Luciana Sete Ducate, who's a tremendous target player. We haven't been able to say her name too much.
Chad Whitehill has it now. Looking for a runner up ahead. Kate Fossey, can she catch up? No, just out of her reach.
And it's interesting to look at the tactics, right? Every time the ball goes out of bounds is an opportunity for sub. At the same time, if the opposing team can take advantage of those players running on, it creates a transition moment as well.
Natalia Maria De Silva, the left back onto the pitch now for Austin Rise FC, number 21.
Pass and go, pass and go. Pass and run.
It's fun hearing Coach Abbasi with the instructions for his players of what he wants to see for Austin Rise FC. The coach for the U.S. women, Kendall Fletcher-White, who was the defensive MVP in year one, and now on the coaching staff. Ooh, right in front of the mouth of the goal, but no runners there for Austin Rise.
And the U.S. team is really trying to pick and choose their moments when to press, but they've got to press as a team. If Fossey is running at a player and she's not getting support from the people underneath her, it's creating some of the pockets that Austin Rise can play into.
A little chip shot in the air for a lot of time, and the collision results in a whistle as Kessler gets dirty. Yeah, she really is dirty. Look at that. Wow. She is muddy from head to toe.
These are one of those games where there's going to be grass everywhere. It's going to be just one of those moments where you walk off the pitch and you're just completely mudded.
The U.S. will play multiple games tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of work to do to get these kids in proper shape. I don't know how many sets of jerseys they have, but they're going to need to utilize all of them. Summer Mason plays it back to her keeper, Inniking, and now gets it back. Mason, the all-WCC player at the University of San Diego, 2016 to 2018. Now it's Maya Heinsohn, just trying to crack this U.S. defense that has given up some pretty good looks, and Lindsay Harris has had to clean up. Harris has been really good in between the pipes today for the U.S. women.
Good, keepers on. Well done, drop it, drop.
Harris with 7 saves for the U.S. And many of them high degree of difficulty that she has made look easy.
Drop, Zoe, drop.
There is Harris right now. Won the Golden Glove Award, or Golden Glove Award, excuse me, in last year's inaugural women's TST as the U.S. women won it. Played at Carolina from 2012 to 2016.
She's just an incredible individual. She was actually like a coach in training at regional camp in the summers, working with young players as a goalkeeper coach. Just a tremendous attitude, and as we've seen, an unbelievable shot stopper.
Drop, Natalie, good.
She's played with the Portland Thorns, the Houston Dash, now with the Saudi Women's Premier League.
Back to Natalie. Show Kayla. Move away from her.
So 2 minutes remaining here in second half action before we get to target score time. There is always a game winner here at TST. If this score holds right now, the target score will be 2. Whoever gets to 2 goals first, but still some time here to change that equation. With a minute and a half left before the second half closes.
All right, but you're next on your line, so you and Jeanette in twos again. So when Jeanette comes, it's you.
And you can hear Coach Abbasi just talking about those rotations and the different lines and how they're subbing in. It's really an art form when you've got it down right.
Good turn over on the far side by Kimball, and then poked away. And actually last touched by Kimball. And that ball, you see it skip on the turf there, and it will be a corner kick for Austin Rise as Della Rose couldn't get there in time.
And they're going to look to try and get everybody forward and see if they can't sneak one in the final seconds here.
Austin Rise FC has been composed. They've had some really good opportunities, just haven't been able to get it past Lindsay Harris, who's been pretty good. Takeaway here. And Harris again scoops that one up off of the wet grass in time. Gets
Weber
it to Kimball.
just rushed that shot a little bit, but she's got it again.
Middle of the, oh, Harris again has been a wall for the U.S. women. That was from point blank range, and still Lindsay Harris standing tall.
Weber just with the touch was blocked a little bit and really put that right kind of in the center. And Harris again with the save, wasn't able to kind of pick out a corner on that, but the U.S. up 1-0 behind the amazing goalkeeping of Lindsay Harris.
She has been stellar, and the U.S. women with a 1-0 lead due to the play of Lindsay Harris. 13 shots on frame for Austin Rise. That one is the one in the back of the net for the U.S. women. Target score time coming up.
The soccer tournament is presented by Adidas, the official fanwear and performance footwear partner of TST.
We are back for the best part of the day, target score time, and Austin Rise FC has had some high-level opportunities but have not been able to cash any in. It has been the Lindsay Harris show, the goalkeeper for the U.S. women. 9 saves to keep the U.S. women in front. And now the offense is going to have to find a way to score one more. The target score is set. It is 2. The U.S. women need to get to 2 before Austin Rise does here in target score time. And whoever gets there first is the winner. If it doesn't come within 3 minutes, a player is removed. And another 3 minutes, another player is removed until you get down to 2v2. So the United States women have been able to build that 1-goal lead, and whoever is the one to win or to score that golden goal is awarded the Adidas Golden Fleece. Whoever hits the game winner, and they get lifetime entry into TST and TBT, and that's a good perk.
Well,
it's pretty fun, and it's a good-looking scarf too.
If you're Katie Shea Collins and you're 19 years old and you get it in that first game for Solo FC, you could, I mean, Carly's 42. I mean, she could be free for the next 20, 30 years.
You gotta love it. Like the Masters green jacket, you get free entry for life. And so for the U.S. women, a little better pressure from the U.S. women and composure in that second half, and they were able to get that goal netted on the rebound opportunity right on the line from Kate Fossey after a good-looking rocket on the set piece.
And it'll be interesting
Chasey
to see
Lloyd. Any adjustments that you think here in target score time?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they come out. Remember, they're up, so it's one of those things where are they going to really try and press and come out strong and get a quick early goal, or are they just going to kind of knock it around and see if they can't find their opening? Talked a little bit with the Solo FC squad, and they said, you know, hey, we're not rushing to score in target score time. We're comfortable. We want to find that road moment because we don't want to get countered.
See Carly Lloyd back on to the pitch here to start target score time. Both these squads have subbed freely and liberally. Everybody's seen a lot of time. It was pretty even and balanced in terms of the minutes and opportunities. So the squad should have some fresh legs here as we start target score time. So the U.S. needs 1 goal to win this one. Austin Rise needs 2 goals and an immediate whistle coming against Tessa De La Rose. Finished her 3rd season at North Carolina as the co-captain of the national champions.
She's one of the fittest players on that squad. Just an absolute engine. We saw that last year. Her ability to just play both sides of the ball and get up and down the pitch really helped the U.S. in their run last year.
Too much on that one. With this weather, it's almost better to drive it low and see if you can get a rebound opportunity in the wet ball. But yeah, any soccer player has got to have mad respect for Tella De La Rose. In her first day at North Carolina, she set the all-time team record in the beep test, reached 57. And then she went out and broke it and got a 63. That is insane. Inside the 6, nearly an opportunity for the back of the net, but instead the U.S. denied the game winner. Corner kick, far post, Lloyd off her head, and then outside of danger's way. Here's De La Rose, ball at her foot now.
Little meg there by Kimball in the replay to try and get that shot off, but Enneking was able just to prevent it.
Patience from the U.S. Sending it back to Whitehill, who now gets it forward to Kimball. A couple of red jerseys in the area, but it will be the U.S. women with the kick from over on the touchline.
Let it go back, let it go back. Left foot, no right, left foot. No chance.
Whitehill trying to push it up, gets it blocked. And the possession now with Austin Rise FC.
Good run. Good header. Drop.
The U.S. so comfortable on the ball, pinging it around. You've got the general in the back, Whitehill, number 4. Evie Shores in front of her. Evie plays center back as well. This is a youth player, and that was number 2.
It's going to be a lot of fun for the defenders, who in 11v11, they're in the back. They're not going to get a lot of opportunities unless it's on a set piece. A little bit too much pace on the give and go action from Kessler and Lloyd, and so Austin Rise will take over, and 1 player from each squad now off the field. We go from 7v7 to 6 players on the pitch for each side, and more space opening up, some subs coming on, as it looks like Enneking is coming off for Austin Rise, and a new keeper will be out.
And number 1, Martha Lord, she actually plays as a winger for Stonehill College. She's a tremendous goalkeeper in futsal because she's so good with her feet. So an interesting change by Coach Abbasi to take advantage of having that extra player on the field, because she will play as a sweeper keeper for this remainder of the game.
Drop, pass and drop. Maya, stay wide.
She gets it ahead to Shimkin and now plays it back. She's got to be nervous. You're coming onto the field for the first time in target score time, and high responsibility as the keeper.
Well, and she's a player who's played with the U.S. women's futsal national team, so she's actually a super composed player and comfortable on the ball. You're going to see them really using her to try and offset the defense. Can she draw a player in as she attacks? Got to be careful, though, in this type of condition that she doesn't have an errant pass, because the U.S. will pounce on any mistakes in the back.
Went out.
I think I remember seeing a Carly Lloyd goal that was from about midfield on the big field.
Versus Japan. I was at regional camp, and I was like, game's starting. I can get there a couple of minutes late, and I showed up, and she'd already had a couple of goals.
That was her game with the hat trick versus Japan.
Don't get trapped.
That might have been her most memorable, though, of all the great ones in her career.
Good, Natalia. Good, Natalia.
Very patient from Austin Rise here in this target score time.
And there's a ton of mobility up top from their 3 forwards, just trying to check into spaces, constantly trying to move, seeing if they can't unbalance that defense, open up a seam, but
Shim takes it away, open net, and that is it! The winner on the takeaway. The defense leading to offense, and the U.S. women have their first win of the tournament, 2-0 over Austin Rise.